Hi guys, so I have been to the car boot sale this morning. We went to the Saturday car boot sale that I'm not allowed to film in. Did get some bits there, didn't spend a huge amount of money, but got a couple of little bits. But the big haul for today has been a marketplace, Facebook marketplace pickup. Honestly, it's great. In terms of value for money, I'm probably going to double, triple my money. But it's the nature of what it is. It's going to be stuff that's going to be quick to sell. It's going to be stuff that's going to be fun to go through. So I'm not going to show you in their house because that's not fair. Somebody else's house. I'm not going to film in their house. But what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll go through it when we get home. But there's loads of stuff. It's probably my biggest investment I've made. Most I've spent in one go, so it's a lovely haul. And I'm just going to leave it at that, and we'll have a look when we get back to the house. Woohoo! Little hinty hint of what was picked up today.
Greetings, it's future me. You've caught me while I was editing the video. And I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to throw in the sales of the weekend in an effort to create suspense for the marketplace pickup. So here are the sales of the weekend. It's the next day. I'm trying something different. I'm using the action cam again, but we're doing a landscape rather than what's the opposite? Portrait, that's the word. We're gonna give that a go because, to be honest, I gotta try and find the best the best angle and everything, because I've been doing a lot with the portrait version on my phone, and I don't know whether or not that's going to be appropriate. I have to wait until I think everything's going to have to be in landscape, I think. So I'm giving this a go now just to see how it translates over. So there's going to be some mixed quality going throughout my videos, early days, because I'm brand new to this, so I'm learning as I'm going along. But we're trying this, and I know it's not going to be consistent throughout the video, which in hindsight I probably should have started doing this another time, but screw it. We're all learning here. That's kind of part of the whole push of my channel is learning. It's a learning experience for everyone, including myself. So we're going to run through some sales. Honestly, in terms of the quantity of sales, I think this is the most I've ever had in one weekend, and you'll understand why. Actually, if we put this on, does this make a difference? Oh, flipping heck. Does that make a difference? Honestly, I am such an amateur at this. I do apologise. Do I look pretty? Sure. But yeah, in terms of quantity, like I said, I'll explain why the quantity is so high. But the quantity has been by far the most I've ever had, I think, in a single weekend over a 2-day stretch. So we've got a load on Vinted, and then we've got 16 on eBay as well. The eBay has been quite active for no other reason other than it's been active. The high volume of sales is going to be Vinted related. So we'll go through Vinted first, and I'll explain why. So first of all, we've got this Play and Fun Little Fashion Designer. It's this cheap little vintage 1980s possibly little toy. Quite simply, it's a little display with a lady, and you turn the little dials or the little knobs or whatever they are, and it basically just gives you a variety of different types of heads, different types of bodies, legs, and you just basically you make it's for young up and coming fashion designers, obviously, and yeah, you just basically make different designs and things like that. It's just a bit of fun. I think I bought these ages ago from one of the house clearance people. I think they were like £3 for £1, and it was some of these like old stock. I think I bought some like water guns, skipping ropes, like light up skipping rope things like that. I picked up loads of them, and that's gone for £2.50. So it probably owes me about 50p maximum, to be honest. Next, we've got Spiderman. It's a 2006. I think it's a Sinister 6 one. It's been on my eBay page for yonks, honestly, so long, at £8.95, just absolutely no bites. But he sold for £3 on Vinted. You know, to be honest, happy to just finally get rid of him, really. On the Vinted, we've got this Luke Skywalker extendable lightsaber. It does light up. Obviously, I am pretty illuminated right now, so you can't tell that it does light up, but it does. And it makes noises. So, cool little piece. I've got loads. I got loads of lightsabers myself. But that has sold for £6 on Vinted. Another £6 sale. Wii Sports Resort, nice and easy, bread and butter. Next, this Hello Kitty charm bracelet in a little plastic tub. I think it's one of those ones where you put £1 in a machine, you turn it, and it pops one of these out. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't even know what's in it, but that's going to be quite exciting for the individual who's bought it. Yeah, I can't tell what it is, but yeah. £2 that was. Next, a plush Ender Dragon from Minecraft, from Spin Masters. So it's not a knockoff one, because you can get loads of these from like Temu kind of places. But no, this is a legitimate one, and this is sold for £10. Quite a big one, to be fair. But this has gone for £10. I paid £4 for that like a week or so ago at the charity shop. Next, we've got this. What's he called? He's a little live pet dog. He's really cute. I think when you turn him on, his eyes open and close. Come on, close your eyes, buddy. Yeah. So it's kind of like it's like a for real friends kind of thing. That has sold for £5. I think that cost me 50p. And then we get on to the reason why. Actually, chuck all that stuff over here, because that stuff has already been spoken about and sold and all that jazz. So the reason why the quantity was so high was I finally got around to listing the belts that I picked up at the car boot. Not the car boot, the auction. Like 3 black bags full of belts. I went through them all, cleaned them all down. There's a little bit like mold, not mold, but you know, just from the humidity and the leather and everything all in together. Went through them all, split them up in 3 categories: unbranded, high street brand, and then like nice brands. So I sold all the nice branded ones, aside from 2, which I'll explain later, because one of them sold on eBay. All the rest of the nice branded ones I basically just put up for £5 each. I wasn't messing around. I wasn't pricing one £6, one £4, one £7. No, I couldn't be bothered with that. All of them £5 a pop, and I sold. There's a couple in there that somebody offered me £4.50 rather than £5. If they want to save themselves 50p, go for it. I accepted that. One of them was in like poorer condition. It was a good brand, but it was in poorer condition, so I took £3 on that one. I listed it for £3. And somebody bundled 2 together, I think, or 2 people maybe bundled 2 together for like £8. So there were a couple that weren't exactly £5, but all in all I basically just listed them all for £5. So you got like Dickies, I think there was a Carhartt one in here, there's Tom Taylor, Hackett, Perry Ellis, Calvin Klein, there's a Tommy Hilfiger one in there somewhere, Levi's, things like that. So there's a few of them there. I'm not going to go through them all. But I basically sold, I don't know how many of them there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 of them, I think, something like that. And I sold them for £90.50 altogether, those ones. So I think I paid something like £15 for the 3 like bags full. And I've already made £90 back there. And I listed those, literally, I was in bed last night just listing them. We were watching a bit of TV and I was just listing them. I'd already taken pictures of them. Just listing them all one by one on Vinted, and they were just boom, 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 like just going like that. But yeah, £15 spent, something like that, and in a whole evening, basically. I've made £9 out of them. So, yeah, well happy with that. And as we're talking about belts, I sold another belt. This one is an RM Williams. Is it RM Williams? Yeah. RM Williams belt. Didn't know the brand until I just did a quick little search. And that's the wrong belt. I'm going to have to go diving again. But yeah, basically I sold an RM Williams brown leather belt for $22.95. That was worth selling on its own, as well as an Anderson's one. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Check that back in there. Do I check that back in there? Yeah. So yeah, there we go. RM Williams. Yeah, that is sold for $22.95 with eBay. So that nicely took me into the eBay sales, which I will start to run through as we speak. Like I said, 16 sales on eBay. And let's jump into the next one. So these are a pair of Doro Phone Easy cordless phones. Paid £3 for them in the car boot, and they've sold for £25 on an offer. I think I had them listed for $32.95. Somebody offered me $25, and I thought, you know what, £3 spent, I'll take that. Next, pair of Sony wired headphones. The the cushion is in good condition. I think I paid something like 50p or £1 or something for them, and they've sold for a tenner. Next, we've got a special edition Stitch pin. It's in the shape of a Lilo Stitch themed key. That is sold for $12.95 free postage because it's so small. Another free postage for alligator. I think it's a Neo. What's it called? Neo Genesis, yeah. Neo Genesis, Japanese for alligator. That's sold for £6.79 free postage. I've still got loads of those to list. Honestly, so many of them to list. I just haven't got around to it. Next is this McFarlane tank. Nothing special about it, to be honest. That was Kenner, sorry, no McFarlane, Kenner. It came in a bundle of vintage toys, and I sold for £4.21. Next, we've got a pair of Lidl brand trainers. I think they're by Livergy. I think it's Livergy. But yeah, for some reason, Lidl trainers go for like half decent money. I don't know who wants to be walking around in Lidl trainers, but apparently this individual does, to be fair. So that they have sold for a grand total of $26.99. We have sold the bundle of sealed Metallica live DVDs that I picked up a couple of weeks ago. They were 50p a pop. They are sealed, they are Metallica, they are live, and they have sold for £14 and 41p plus postage. I had no idea if any of them would be worth any good money, but so I just thought I'd bundle them all together, and they went relatively quick, to be fair. Next, we've got a bundle of monster trucks, Hot Wheels, Monster Jam monster trucks. They were actually sitting in one of my boxes, thinking that I had listed them, but I hadn't. So I listed them, and they sold within a day or two. Next, we have a pair of named collective joggers. So you got a nice little Diamante target or crosshair. Got some nice gothic named on the bottom. The back, I paid £5 for those, and they have sold for $21.21, I think it was. Yeah, $21.21. I thought that was quite a funny number. $21.21. Next, we've got Squishmallows, Dustin the Dalmatian, brand new with tag. Bought him, I think I bought him for 50p or £1, one of the two. And he is sold for £7 plus postage. We have then got the Ergo Baby. It's like an insert. What does it call it? What's it called? Infant insert for baby carriers. So basically, it's just, yeah, it's like extra comfort. It's an extra layer for the baby. It's like a little seat that you can put into a baby carrier. That's all for $9.99 plus postage. Then we've got a bundle of Diablo 2. Yeah, Diablo 2 game guides for the expansion and for the base game. I bought them in a house clearance bundle. They've sold for $11.99 plus postage. Probably owe me about a couple of quid. Next, we've got a Technicolor router that is sold for $8.99 plus postage. That came with the bundle of it came with that. There was a Chameleon smart meter, which I've already sold for £15.95. And also with SkyQ box, which is sold for £35. This actually, I don't know whether you're gonna know or not, but that actually had already sold. But it arrived at the buyers. He tested it on. He basically tried to add it onto his account or something like that, and he wouldn't let him. I don't know, but basically he couldn't use this. We sent it back, and then I sold it within 24 hours again for 35 quid. I'm going to circle back round to that because it's something I want to mention, that I want people's opinion on if they're resellers. But this is the Toshiba. It's a DVD video recorder, so you can record your DVDs on there as well as it being a DVD player. This conveniently sold while I was actually up the garage, which is where I store it. So I just grabbed that as when I was grabbing the rest of the stuff, and that's all for £26.95. Free postage, so I've got to cover the postage of that, but that's not too bad. Probably paid about 3-4 quid for that. So yeah, I wanted to circle back to the Q box, the Sky Q box. I've noticed that to be honest, it's probably pretty standard, and I'm probably being a little bit thing, but I sold that. I have paid for the postage has been sent. We paid for the postage. Label's been sent it to the buyer. The buyer has then turned around and said, I don't want it anymore. He's clicked, obviously, the option, which means that he has to cover the postage, which is fair because it's his decision. He wanted to send it back. It's not defective. It's not faulty. It's not what it was. It's not as described. So he's basically said, I want my money back, and he's paid for the return postage. And then when I was actually issuing the refund, it refunded him the original postage. Now, is that just the responsibility of a seller now that if people, you run the risk, if people want to send it back, you kind of you have to cover that initial postage. But if they don't want it anymore, why is that costing me money? Is kind of my question. Now, if it is just part of the responsibility of being a seller, it is what it is. It's just one of those things that I don't get a lot of returns. This isn't like a regular occurrence or anything like that. But if it's their decision to send it back, why are they being refunded the initial postage when they're the one running the risk in the first place by buying the item? And eBay's doing it right by getting them to pay for it if it's their decision to send it back. If it's faulty, they shouldn't have to pay. But if it's their decision to send it back, eBay is doing it right by sending it back. By charging them to send it back. But that's counterproductive if you've got to then refund them the original postage because that still costs you money. Is it because it cancels it out? No, it doesn't cancel it out because you're still out of pocket. It's just something that I'm thinking it's probably something that's been covered by every reseller. It's probably something that eBay has a legitimate reason for. But yeah, I double checked the refund as I was refunding it, and I saw that obviously they're getting refunded the original postage, so I'm out of pocket because they've decided they don't want it. So it's a bit like, I don't know. But it might just be one of those things. It might be one of those things. It doesn't happen very often, like I said. But yeah. But that's all the sales. That's all the sales. With postage aside, because I've obviously got to pay for the postage. Postage doesn't get taken off of the total. But of the total of the 16 sales that come on eBay, that comes to £309.39. And as I said, the belt on Vinted came to £90.50. And then with everything else, that's 130 maybe. So you're possibly talking about £400 made in the weekend, which is really good, which is really nice return. No massive value items on the eBay stuff, and again, nothing massive value items on the Vinted stuff either. A couple of £20, mid-20s kind of pricing on some of them. I've got all of these to start listing now, all of the consoles and stuff that work, all the ones that don't, I'm cleaning out. I mentioned that yesterday. But yeah, that's it for the weekend. It's gonna be a bit of a messy video though. This is gonna be because I've done clips in the car before I've gone to pick up the marketplace stuff. Then I've done clips here when I'm talking about and going through the marketplace pickup. And then I'm giving updates on it. I'm talking about the other stuff that I picked up, and now I'm doing sales. Fundamentally, it's the same process, but it might be a little bit because it's done over several days rather than just on one day. So yeah, apologies if it's a bit messy, especially as I've changed the format now by doing this on the action cam horizontally, landscape. So it is going to be a bit of a messy video, and for that I do apologize. I'll try and make it as smooth as possible. But I'm just getting to grips with what's the best format to do these videos. But the problem is I'm making a few videos and then going, hang on, does that look right? And I'm not doing it correctly, but I'll get there. Just please be patient, please stick with me, and hopefully I will start to put out some consistent high quality content that you guys will love. So that's the plan. That's everything for today. I'm going to upload this then today and get all of these out. So welcome back to the garage, guys. You're up high because we've got a lot to show you. So as I said in the car, big marketplace pickup, and here it is in all its glory. So I'm gonna flip you around and let's go through what we picked up from the marketplace. Ooh. So see if we can get a wide shot of this. Whoop, falling over bags. So this is what we picked up. I'll go through individually, but this is what we've got. Okay, so we'll start from this side first. Okay, so Fire Stick. Always handy having another one of them. But, yeah, Fire Stick, probably 15, 20 quid maybe. Little mouse mat. Chuck her on Vinted for a couple of quid probably. Got a nice little selection of DS games. Haven't got a DS at the moment, but I'll probably keep them back for when I do get one, and then I can bundle it, unless any of them are little hidden gems. I don't know off the top of my head. By the looks of it, they don't look like it, but you never know sometimes. Then we've got an array of Xbox 360, Xbox One games. Now we're moving on to this. I don't know what this is, but a CBS Vision CBS Coloco Vision video game system. So it looks like it's naff. It probably doesn't work because look at that. It's like growing stuff. Probably doesn't work. It'll be for parts, no doubt. I'll open it up. I'll clean it out. You never know. Some of these older electricals, they're built to last. But yeah, he chucked that in. He said it wasn't as part of the listing, but he's probably found it at some point and gone, oh, you know what, you can have that. No idea what they're worth, CBS is. But yeah, for parts, maybe it wouldn't even be worth it. Maybe I'll just chuck it. But at the end of the day, it wasn't included in the listing. He's just chucked that in as an extra. Then we've got an array of controllers. Got some PlayStation 2s, PlayStation 3s, a couple of Xbox Ones in there, 360s. There's an Xbox original third-party one. These are like
gold dust sometimes, these Xbox Elite. Not that Elite, but that Elite. The Slim Elites. I don't know what they're called. But those are a different power cable to the regular Xbox 360s, and they're about 15-20 quid each. So I do actually have a spare one, which is nice. Next, we've got a couple of Buzz Lightyear toys. I thought this one would be better because the ones that you have with the anti-gravity belt can often fetch more money. I've sold one for about £30 to £40 before, but this one doesn't light up and doesn't shoot. And obviously, I got to give them a clean. So I have no idea. This looks like a lower quality model with that on, so I'll have to double check. Although that looks like a light in there. Like a torch light, maybe? Is that a light? I don't know what that is. But yeah, I'll have a look what that one's worth, but might be a tenner each on those, which is not too bad to have it thrown in. Not too bad at all. Now, we got these. So at the front, we've got a Nintendo Wii. Doesn't come with any of the power cables or remotes, but I've got a ton. Hang on. Bless me. I got a ton of stuff saved up anyway because I bought a load of Nintendo Wii's a while ago bundle, so I've got loads of power cables, AV cables, remotes, things like that, so I can easily bundle something up. But there, I've already got another 5, I think, that I'm working on bundling up, so easy peasy lemon squeezy. Next, we've got a couple of PS2 Slims. The Xbox 360 Elite Slim, whatever it's called, got one there, and then we've also got one in the box with everything in there, which is wicked. Got a couple of not custom, but special edition Xbox Ones. So this is the Forza one, and then this is the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. What I didn't know that the guy told me, so the guy I bought these off is a bit of a collector himself, which is cool. It always fills you with a bit more confidence when you're buying from somebody who actually cares about what you're buying. But apparently these make different noises when they start up to a regular Xbox, which is pretty cool. Next, Xbox Original, the OG. I picked up one of those for myself recently, but that one is going straight on eBay. Okay, they're hidden behind the pile. But what we do have is we have 3 chunky PlayStation 3s. I don't know what gigabytes or anything like that. I know some of the backwards compatible ones are worth more money. So I haven't done any. Literally, I have just put these out that I'm making the video right now. So I haven't tested any of these. I haven't looked at any comps. I have an idea of how much each thing is worth in general. But I haven't looked specifically at any of this. This is me just chucking it out on the table and going through it with you. Next, we've got a couple of Xbox 360s. Xbox 360 Elite. Not the slim one, but the original Elite. The original Xbox 360 white is a bit ming, but he did say, he told me, now at the end of the day, it's easy to say it, but he said everything here works. It is tested. It's from his collection. The only one that doesn't work is this bad boy, and it gives you the red ring of death. Now, that is fine. That is the one I'm more than happy. One of those two, if they are the ones that are defective, I'm more than happy. Everything else is worth more than those two. So the fact that it's the original Xbox 360 that's dead doesn't bother me. Can sell that for parts. It's got a hard drive. It's only a 60 gig hard drive, but I can even sell that separately if I wanted to. So that's all the consoles. Well, no, that's the pile of consoles. It's not all the consoles. Next, we've got a PlayStation 3 Slim. I don't know what any of these models are specifically. Needs a clean. They all need a bit of a clean. A little bit of TLC. But this bad boy, got one of them. And I've also got one in the box here. So we got 2 of those as well. Lovely jubbly. Like I said, we've got one in there. Boxed. Ready to go. Some PlayStation money box. Then we've got this, which looks like some sort of gaming computer mouse pad thing. No idea what that's worth. No idea on the brand. Maybe looking at maybe a tenner on them. Xbox 360 Elite Internet Wi-Fi cable networking adapter. That's the one. Usually get about a tenner on that. Next, we've got this interesting little piece. It is the Super Nintendo Super Advantage. I think it's a gamepad for the SNES, or it is licensed by Nintendo, so although it is made by Asiware, it looks like it is licensed by Nintendo. So made in Japan. These seem to be fairly rare. They seem to be pretty cool little collectibles. So I think is to go on the Super Nintendo as just an additional type of, joystick gaming pad controller thing. So no idea on comps. It comes in the box, but, do you really care about the box when it looks like that? But it's still pretty cool. Still very, very cool. And then PSP, which looks, I'm not going to lie, it looks a little bit decked. Now, he said these do work, everything works, but I can't tell whether that's inside or outside of the screen. So this is going to need some serious TLC, some serious cleaning up. I've already got a controller for this. Not a controller, sorry. I've already got a charger for this. That's not usually a good sign. We'd have to double check the battery on that, because the batteries in here are very prone to exploding, so I'd have to check that. But obviously, if that works, it being white as well, they're a little bit more desirable than the black ones, but how I'm going to clean that, I have no idea. So we'll have to wait and see on that, but that is probably one of the higher value items if it's working. And then you've got this dual format top drive GT4 steering wheel, pedals with the gear stick, which is a pretty cool all-in-one little set. And those can sometimes go anywhere between sort of £20 to £50, maybe even more depending on the brand. So, and then there's some couple of bits and bobs down there, some of the wires, that's all the PlayStation 2 stuff, a couple of extra power banks for the Xboxes and things like that. So that's the haul. Yeah, really nice guy. And that all comes to a grand total of £330 spent. Now, fingers crossed, he's a very... Hang on. So, fingers crossed, he's a very reliable and truthful guy. And all of that is top quality, is working flawlessly, and they can all go as a nice little bundle. But who knows? Who knows? You'll only know when you test it. You need to take these risks because that's really good money there if everything is working. So test it all. Probably take up an entire day to do that. I should have a game for each of the consoles. It looks like there's a controller for each of the consoles. Power cables, AV cables and things like that. I'll have to look, but I've usually got spares. I keep them around for these kind of moments. So fingers crossed, everything will be working. I own most of these consoles anyway for testing purposes. So I should have everything I need to test them. And then if I'm making them up with bundles, I need to pop into local town on Tuesday because I'm meeting up with some friends to have a catch up, and they've got a CEX there. So after I test all of these, if they're all working, I'm going to want to be bundling in some games to go with it. So what I'll do is, when I go into CEX, get some fodder games. I think I've got a couple of things I could possibly trade in. I think I've got a PS4 controller I want to trade in. A couple of PS3, any spare controllers and things like that. You can always get good vouchers for those things if they work. And with that money, potentially, I will then buy a bunch of fodder games if I've not already got enough for the consoles individually. And it just helps make the bundle more appealing. And then I'll pick up some fodder games for like 50p a pound. There's always fodder games in CEX for those kind of values. So that's what I'll do on Tuesday. So expect to see these starting to be listed in the next few days because I want pretty much an immediate return on £300 spent. So I'm going to be testing these over the next couple of days, and I want these to be out on the shop, sent out, sold as soon as possible to recoup some of that money back as soon as possible. So that's the plan. That's the plan. I've also got a couple of bits from the car boot. So bear with me for a second. I'll get those out. I'll tidy this up and we'll jump back into it and we'll go through what we picked up at the car boot because I picked up a couple of nice bits as well. Didn't take much with me because I knew I was spending all this on this pile. So there wasn't a lot of pressure on me to pick up a load of stuff today because I knew I was getting cash in the bank. So yeah, let me sort all this out. We'll get all of that stuff out and we'll have a look what we picked up in the car boot sale as well. And we're back again. So we've just gone through the big gaming haul, console haul, of everything we picked up for £330 today, which is bloody lovely. Still needs a lot of testing and things like that, but I'm confident. I'm confident. You gotta have faith in people. You gotta take risks. Those who take risks prosper the most. That's not a caption from anywhere, but it's true. So basically what I'm going to do now, picked up a couple of bits today in the car boot sale. So I'm just going to run through those real quick. Total spent was about 40 quid, something like that, I think. But we'll go through these now and I will tell you how much I paid for them, what I'll be expecting to get. Although, to be honest, a couple of these, I haven't actually checked hardly any of these. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, first of all, we've got a Hetty desk vacuum. I've got the box is a little bit broken, a little bit busted, but I've got to give credit to Ricky Resells for this one, because he used to pick them up all the time. He loves them. I think the Hetty ones are worth a little bit more because they're a little bit harder to get, but all the pieces are inside Hetty. If you listen, it's just a little Hetty. You can get Henry ones as well, obviously. Hoover themed desk vacuum. So you keep them on your desk and you suck up any crumbs or any whatever you get on your desk. That was £2. I think a 15 back on that probably. So not a bad little pickup. That'll, it'll just tick along in the background, Next, I picked up 3 controllers for £5, which is lovely, but I'll explain why now. So this is a wireless PS3 controller. It looks fine. It looks in relatively good condition. The triggers and the bumpers function quite nicely. It could probably do with a little bit of a clean, but it looks in pretty good condition all in all. I think they trade in for about 20 quid in CEX, but obviously with the pile of consoles that I've got, there are 5 PlayStation 3s in that bundle, so I might need to use that for one of those. If not, like I said, about 20 quid trade in. That's what I usually do with controllers. I usually trade them in and use the money vouchers to buy games, because A, they're a little bit easier to post, they go a bit quicker, there's less competition for certain ones if I go for the higher end games, and generally CEX for some reason give you more money, I find, for controllers than you can get on eBay, which is crazy when you think about it, but that's what I like to do with controllers in general. So yeah, so that owes me what? If it's 3 for a £5, it's at £1.70, something like that. I'll get about 20 quid's worth out of a trade-in, or it'll go towards one of the bundles. Next, we've got 2 Xbox One controllers. Black ones, pretty standard. I think they're the original ones. But the bumper, there's 2 bumpers missing on that one, and there's 1 bumper missing on that one. Can either do spares and repairs. With replacing the bumpers, I can up the price because that's a pretty simple thing to change. I can test these obviously on one of the Xbox Ones to make sure that everything else is functional. Generally, they don't tend to have too much corrosion, I don't think, these. No, looks in pretty good condition. I'm going to take them out because it's easier that way. But they both got battery covers, both in pretty good condition, all in all, just missing the bumpers, really. So I can either sell them as spares and repairs, or I can buy some bumpers and fix them myself, which might be worth doing. Trade them in at CEX again. Might be worth it, but obviously the 3 of those owe me £5, and I could quite easily make 60 back on them. So that was a good pickup. I might as well do this as well. So that I also bought this off the same guys. It's basically just more lighting for me, because what you might probably find is that the lighting down here isn't great. So basically, what I'll show you exactly why the lighting is the way it is. So, you could probably... I don't really want to show you everything because it's a little bit messy and I need to sort it out. But that's the life of a full-time... Like, at the end of the day, it's my home. Like, a lot of people have homes that look like mine. So, basically... So, stairs.
Now this, we have 3 floors. This is the bottom floor. So this is our kitchen, bathroom, and then that is where I do my eBaying. We got under the stairs, we got a garden, but this is where I do all my eBaying. So we got one wall with all storage. If this is the first time you're seeing this, then, you know, this is a lovely little surprise for you. I've also got room up my parents' garage. If you're new to the channel and you do not know that I have got garage space, but this is where the majority of my stuff is kept. That's all stuff that needs to be processed. This is where all my packing stuff is. It's basically a kitchen counter that I've repurposed. And yeah, this is where all the magic happens. So this is why the lighting isn't great in here, because I'm literally just shoved in a corner. So extra lighting will be good for the quality of these videos, will be good for the quality of the pictures I take for my shop. So that's basically what that is. Untested, but it's got 4 prongs, so it'll give me lighting from 4 different directions. So that was more for me. And that cost £5. So I thought I'd give it a go for a £5. £5 for those, and I bought them at the same time. So I think he said £8 for the controllers, £5 for that. I said £10 for all of it. He said go for it. They look like a house clearance kind of group, because then I also picked up these 2 off of them. So an EE unbreakable Wi-Fi, looks like a booster or a router of some kind. So it's the Hybrid Connect. No idea on the value for that. And then BT Business Smart Hub 2. Again, it could be another router or booster of some kind, but they were £2.50 each. So I thought I'd take a punt. They're brand new in the box. Some of those things in the box can be worth a bit of money. Next, 50p a pop, we've got some Blaze, the monster truck cars. Don't usually pick these up. I've gone through phases where I pick up monster trucks and bundle toys together, but I'm kind of behind that now. I've moved on. I'll buy toys, but I'll buy like vintage toys, or I'll buy toys that I think I can get more money out of, really. But these were 50p a pop, and there were a couple of slightly more unusual ones, and sometimes the slightly more unusual ones can go for like £10 each, or £8 to £10 each. So I thought I'll give it a go. It was slow in the morning. I'll chuck them on Vinted for a couple of quid, and I'll make some money somehow. Next, we've got Buzz and Buzz. It's got 2 bundles of controllers, 2 games, so 1 each on the bundles. They wanted £3 for each bundle of the controllers, and then £3 a game. So I said, will you take 10 for 2 of them on 2 of these? So I've saved myself a couple of quid. They said yes, so I'll sell each of those bundles for about £20 each. And last but not least, we picked up a couple of football tops. Now, these look old. They're both Umbro, and I don't know if they're legit, because the usual tactic I would use didn't work for these. Now, that might either mean that they're older than the usual ones. So with football shirts, the way you find out whether they're real or not is in the left side of the collar, under there, on the shoulder part, somewhere along there should be a label, a tag. It'll have a specific serial number on it. And if you were to Google that serial number, either on the Nike, Adidas, whatever website, it should bring up exactly what you have. If it doesn't bring up exactly what you have, then they've reused that label from a different, like they've reused that serial number from a different top. There's other things that you should do to check it. That's not a fail-safe yet. It's exactly what it is, because it's easy to just search whatever it is. But usually that is a good indication that it's legit and that you've got a real shirt. But these haven't got those tags. Now, that might be because they're older, or it might be because they're fake, or they could be reprints. I don't know. But I've taken a punt on these. They were £5 each from the same people I bought the Buzz stuff from, and they're Chelsea tops. Probably should have bought them all, because another guy jumped in there and he saw another top, and I was like, you know what, I probably should just bought them all. But the first one, I picked up these ones because they looked a bit older and they look quite cool. So this is a black and blue. It's got a lovely crew neck collar on it. Yeah, they're all Umbro. Fly Emirates, Chelsea Football Club. They've got the old badge on there. The labels and stuff look decent enough. And they've got, like, that looks pretty legit.
It's like rubber. It's like a rubber tag, and it all looks like high quality. So if they are fake, it's a high quality fake. Or if they are, some companies, they'll do like retro reprints and remakes of tops. But that one looks pretty good. It's in good condition. There was a couple of them that were a little bit dicey condition. And then there's this lovely yellow, like golden yellow and blue as well. It's got a bit of a stripe pattern to it. Again, similar kind of crew neck. Lovely. Umbro again. And this one's got auto glass on it. Auto glass repair, auto glass replace. It's just one of those jingles that sticks in your head, isn't it? It's like the Hastings Direct one. 0800 00 1066. So this one's made in South Africa. Looks a bit like a dodgy label, but they're older ones, so I'm not sure. I don't know. But I took a punt. They were a $5 each. If they are legitimate old shirts, that's the thing. If I'm undecided on stuff, I'll pick my favourite couple out of it. I might be missing out on a couple of belters, but I'm not spending 30 quid on 6 tops when they could be fake. And then I spent 30 quid on 6 fake tops. Whereas now I spent 10 quid on 2 fake tops if they're fake. It's easier to recoup that. In my head, anyway. But yeah. They're nice shirts. And I think even as fakes, if you just say they're fakes, and they're like retro shirts, I reckon people buy them for a tenner anyway. So that's everything. That's everything from today. I'm going to try and... So I've got a lot of content saved up to go on the channel. But what I'm going to do is I was going to try and on a weekend do the current day stuff. So the timeline's going to be a bit wishy-washy. Nothing substantial has happened over the last couple of few months that I've been stocking up on all this content. Not a lot has changed, but I might contradict myself at times because of how I'm trying to get up to date with my content, because it took me a long time to actually set up the YouTube channel. No excuses. I was procrastinating. I knew it was going to be a commitment, and it's easy to strap my action cam on my chest and just do what I normally do while that's on my chest, but actually sitting down, setting everything up, getting everything sorted, learning how to edit, setting up all my branding and things like that to be consistent. It all takes time, and I procrastinated, and now I'm in a position where I've got loads of content that I am going to put on the channel, but it's more historical content, and this kind of thing I want to make it more current, present day. So this is going to be listed this weekend. So the weekend is Saturday morning. This is going to be listed this weekend. It's going to be uploaded this weekend. So all of this massive stock is current, which means that when you go onto the shop, what I've picked up will be there. What I don't want people doing is me uploading a video from a month ago, them seeing something and going, oh, that's great, I'm going to jump on the store and buy that, and then it's not there. So, yeah, that's my plan moving forward. So you can get a lot of content over a short period of time, really. But I'm going to try and be a little bit more present day and a little bit more, consistent with it. So that was everything from this morning. Huge haul. And yeah, keep an eye out for it. Keep an eye out for me testing all of it as well. It's quite a job I got here. But think of the money at the end of it. And it's going to be enjoyable. I'm a gamer. I'm a nerd. I love that sort of stuff. So it's going to be enjoyable when I do it. Last thing I want to be doing is selling antiques that I have no interest in. This is the stuff I have interest in. So this is what I want to be doing. This is what I want to be testing. This is what I want to be selling. So awesome. And it's usually a very competitive market when it comes to consoles, but somehow I managed to snag this bundle before anyone else did. So take that as a win. Take that as a win in itself. So thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this massive haul to get excited about, and stay tuned. I'll keep the content coming out. Leave comments, subscribe, let me know how I'm doing. I always want to improve. I always want constructive criticism. Just let me know what kind of content you want, because I don't want to be too monotonous and too using the same content all of the time. I know it's good to have a little bit of variety now and again. So just let me know if there's anything you'd like me to do, anything you'd like me to focus on, anything you'd like me to change. I'm learning as I'm going through it, so any constructive criticism that you guys pass over to me is just going to make me better, and it's going to make the content that I'm presenting to you better as well. So thanks very much again, guys. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon.